What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. So yes, we're back, and today we're talking about the most badass warriors in the entire Imperium. No, it's not the Space Marines. It is actually a guardsman. The Imperial Guard, aka the Astra Militarum, has some real badasses within their ranks. Because think about it. You're in this far futuristic world where there is war at every corner. You cannot escape death, be it from the Xenos, the heretic, the demonic, or even your own brother. The Imperium hates you guys too. So to be a guardsman, you're going up against the very worst of humanity as well as the very worst in the galaxy. And you would think, oh, they're just regular humans, like, they can't really stand up to a Space Marine, they can't stand up to a Tau, like, what are they gonna do? Well, for one, they got numbers. Untold trillions upon trillions of regular people are just thrown into the ranks and basically thrown at the enemy to be a meat grinder, to slow them down, or to pummel them with bodies and last gun fire. However, every once in a blue moon, you see a regular human rise up to the ranks to be an awesome badass equivalent of a fighter to that of a Space Marine. And here in this excerpt from the Fall of Cadia book, we see a guardsman taking out some Chaos Space Marines, and it is quite the badass feat. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and affix bayonets as we dive into this 40k lore. Holy Terra, Sergeant Veska swore. What was that? Glaive saw it too, big and crimson, a blur that rushed past the loophole hatch too fast and closed for him to get a proper look. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's big, he answered. Heavies will deal with it. He could hear the madman howls and the chain swords of the approaching berserker pack, and he unshrouded his meltagun, sticking the barrel through the steeped black loophole that ran the length of his bunker hab. He didn't have to wait very long. Glaive had barely finished muttering the benediction to peace and the invocation of violence when a rush of beetle-black armor filled the street below. Let them get further in, said Veska. Steady, steady. The spirit moved him. Glaive pulled the trigger, and 2 Chaos Marines melted. Damn your eyes, Glaive. Veska poured fire from his hellgun down into the mass. Amber runes on Glaive's meltagun blinked, requesting he wait until gas buildup allowed another shot. While waiting, he triggered a frag grenade and pushed it out the slit. By the time it exploded with a dull whoomph and a rattle of shrapnel on ceramite, his meltagun was already at the loophole again. Another berserker fell, legs incinerated and hip joints fused. Still, it clawed across the ground towards the bunker, even as its companions ran it over. On the stairs, Stitcher Kristen warned. He was watching their backs with a hell pistol. Below, one of the trip mines they'd rigged discharged with a cough of directional pellets and a harsh screech of shrapnel on armor plate. They were on the second floor already. Fast, so fast. Glaive spun, advancing towards the door with his meltagun already angled to sweep the stairs. On the indicator, amber block runes counted their way upwards to full charge. 1 amber, 2, 3. He saw an empty landing below, nearly full. The stairwell then broke inward as the transhuman madman rammed through the wall rather than turning the corner. It put the heretic nearly at the top of the flight, close enough that he swung his chain axe at Stitcher and buried it in the rockcrete doorway as the Medicae flinched. Red smoke jetted from a helm grill bristling with ivory teeth. Blood, it howled. Green rune. The meltabeam liquefied the traitor Space Marine from eye lens to hips. His massive disconnected parts, the legs still pumping in a run, rolling down the stairs and leaving the chain axe buried in the doorway. They're climbing the building. Screams from the firing slit. Sergeant Veska howling as a spiked gauntlet punched through the narrow window to grab him and force a bolt pistol into his chest. It discharged, and the screams stopped. Glaive swiveled with his meltagun, but the assailant at the vision slit was already gone, letting the sergeant's corpse drop to the floor. "Stairs again," shouted Stitcher Kristen. Glaive spun back. The legless berserker he'd seen below was trying to scramble up the stairs towards them, shouting all sorts of blasphemies. Glaive vaporized it, leaving another pool of liquid armor slag hardening on the stairs. 3 floors, said Christian. What? Glaive snapped. No legs. It had no legs, but it clawed up 3 floors trying to kill us. Glaive thought about that, then swept the beam of his meltagun along the rockcrete stairs, eating away at the gray stone and metal supports beneath. Well, looks like the next one will have to jump for us. And there you have it, guys. This excerpt was pretty intense, action all around. It reminded me a lot of the movie Fury. If you guys haven't seen it, I believe it's currently on Netflix, and it's basically a group of 4 or 5 soldiers, I believe, it might be 6, who are basically inside of a tank, and they're going through World War II, and they go up against a slew of enemies, and you see just how close they have to be inside the confines of the tank, what it's like to fight, inside of a tank against others, and this small, close, like almost claustrophobic feel you get to experience here. I mean, clearly they're not in a tank, but they are inside of like a 3-story building, and you see the enemy inching ever closer to them, each attack, being one of the last attacks they'll ever make, especially when they're going up against world eaters. These cornet berserkers are no joke, as you can see here. They get vaporized from like the waist up, and their legs are still running. They get vaporized from the legs down, and they're climbing up 3 stories to get to their kill. That's crazy. But that also shows you the intense balls of these guys to stand their ground and fight amongst the world eaters at that. Like, that's just crazy. But we also see the insurmountable might of the meltagun. Meltagun 100% pulled the weight here. So at the end of the day, guys, let me know your thoughts on this excerpt. Here you get to see a bunch of crazy things. For example, the most craziest to me is how these guys are able to stand their ground and not just run at the sight of world eaters. But yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for listening. Don't forget that we have split up OMS into 3 channels. We have the OMS podcast, where you guys can join us in going through the Primarch novels. We've got Angron, a Primarch novel review on the channel, so check it out. And as well as the For the Greater War channel, where we do our Q&As. So like, comment, and subscribe on those channels, as well as this channel, and we'll be seeing you guys in the next one. This has been The Sound Alchemist, part of Unmind Syndicate, and I'll catch you there. Peace.